Good morning. Happy Monday. Some people say happy Friday. I say happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a successful trading day. Mike. Good evening, Alfred. It's going to be a loser. I think it's going to be a loser. Not the way most breakouts work, but we'll see. Might just be oscillating up. I'm willing to give it a few shots here. I hope you guys don't hear the treadmill too loud. It sounds loud to me today. Today is a fasting day for me. So just lots of water. Interesting. I actually like this. You know what I like about it? I like that we have a wick on the candle that we just printed. Kind of price actiony, huh? What does the candlestick look like? It has a wick on it. Go long. We're making higher lows, I guess. Let's see. Am I on the NQ here? Yeah. We're making higher lows. Let me see if I can make sure this is right. Okay. Caps are off. Hit F9. All right. There we go. Here and here. All right. So you would expect for us at some point to try and take out this high up here. We'll see. Basic trading, right? Who knows? We have a kind of a trend line kind of doing this right now. Or in a channel, right? So we're oscillating up. So we'll see. If we try to break up, this is value area low right here. That's this red line that's moving down. So it's developing value area low. So we'll see. Get rid of all this garbage. Let's see if we take out the candle high here. Oh, you know what? Will you take me out right at the bid or at the ask? There you go. One of these orders didn't have a bracket on. There we go. Chasing, chasing, new highs. Can we get a breakout? That's a trail stop right there. It's just trailing. Nice close little trail stop. It's a 12-point initial stop. Once it goes 12 points in profit, it trails the market 6 points. So by default, it gets me out at 0.5 Rs. You're like, what? A 0.5 R default trail stop? How stupid is that? Well, if you're an average scalper, it's stupid. But I'm not an average scalper, so it works out for me. All right. Coming for the new highs. Ticks going off here. Into market internals. Plus 2,000. All right. I like it. We're in. Let's see if we get out. There's a little liquidity above us on the NASDAQ here. Right there. You see that flashing here? Let's see if they go slam it. My stop's just above. Might go to it, fill it, go sideways and make a reversal, but, you know, play both sides. And we're out. They filled the liquidity. Did they fill it completely? Or did they pull it? That's the question. Yeah, I guess they filled it. They filled a good portion. We'll try one more time. Tighten it up. Not 12 points, but we'll do like 8-point stop. Filling in all of these zero prints up here. Try again. Like, what kind of crazy man shorts into this breakout? Well, this look left structure is going to be some resistance. That's all. Da da da. Da, da, da. Oh, there's the trailer. Rather get out on a trailer than on the bid here. Like, but why? A 0.5 R? Well, I don't know. Might oscillate up and then push back down again. Oh well. Missed it. Some profit taking here. Alright, I like this closing the way it did. Hasn't pushed up yet. That's interesting. I'll take that off. Good morning, Andre. Andre, I didn't send any notifications through Twitter. I'm sure there's a bot that can do that. You know, in oh shoot, that trail stop is still active. Hold on. In the old Discord, which I no longer have. See, I have to repeat it like that all the time. We had a bot that would do all that work. Hey, someone's posted. Boom, posted in the appropriate channel, right? So we even had like all the Twitter bots for all the various popular chartists on Twitter. So that was kind of cool. And then when I would post a YouTube video, it'd go into the educational, because at the time I wasn't doing any live streams. It just connect with people and share my screen in real time on Discord. So that was a thing. All right, value area low here. So I'm so used to sharing both the ES and NQ screens. So if I start talking about ES right now, just someone slap me or something. Anyway, right at value area low. This is a breakdown right up in this area here on the NAS up at 661. I'm actually really interested in getting short here on the NAS. A little bit of a wider swing up here. I'll lose more. But I'm actually okay with that risk because a lot of times when you get these BBWCs, base breakout with consolidation, not necessarily in that order, but you have, oh, my little girl's so cute. All right, you have this right here, right? So that's a base. It's consolidated and it has a breakdown. Oops, we should keep that in red, huh? And we have a breakdown here. The point at which we break down becomes heavy resistance. Why? Because, some people are counting on market reversal through here. And then when it breaks that zone, it always holds trapped players. So I like to get in there and, you know, play short term against those people. It could go higher. It could take out all your stops and make you a very sad puppy, but that's okay. Let's see. Back to the chat. Oh yeah, Alfred. That happens. SPY, big put selling all day. Potential for an afternoon up reversal. Thank you, Andre. Hey Alex, what's up, dude? Good morning, Shane. Mike produces. I call that a line in the sand trade. Only trading the level once. You know, I don't know. I'll probably trade it 4 or 5 times if I get big reversals off the level. Um, look at how I don't get my fill. Good morning, Dirk. Con Fam says, "How can I get your chart book?" Which chart book? The whole thing, he says. Well, you're not seeing the whole thing. You're only seeing NASDAQ. Here, I can flip it real quick. Watch how fast this. I try to improve it a little bit here. Let's see. Bing. So there's the ES. Note it says S&P configuration up there at the top, so it's easy for you guys. And then it's S&P 500 futures here. Everything's E-mini colors, green. Anyway, back to the NASDAQ, and I need to use the restroom. So I will be back. Hopefully this trade works out. We'll see. Positive 2,000 ticks. Okay. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was right. Okay. Well, so far, let's see. Let's get this treadmill on. Jeez. So, Mr. Confam, I don't sell or distribute chart books, but Ticino Trader does sell. Oh, jeez, something's going on here. Oh, that's my phone. Never mind. Went to the bathroom. I was reading your guys' chat on my phone. But Ticino Trader does sell chart books, and he's got some really good ones, like really good. And I recommend you subscribe to his service if you want pre-made. And then you can modify the colors and stuff like that. And then in the process, you'll learn a little bit about the program. And oh, there was a big order that filled over 100 on the NASDAQ up there. See the purple? So this text up here says MDHG, or Market Depth Historical Graph, and it just shows me the settings. Above 50, it's going to be red. Above 100, it's going to turn purple. That's all. That's all it is. All kinds of liquidity sitting up here on the NAS. Oops. Yeah, that's right. We do want to add there. I actually want to add right here, right now, but this is fine. This is just fine. We'll be patient. All right, the breakdown point. Look at those big lots going off here on the E-mini. Look on the, so here's the E-mini. Look at all those big lots getting tagged right through here. They're selling it. Let's see if they do the same on the NASDAQ here, or if they run all my stops. They might do it. Oh, come on. Anyway, so Ticino Trader, I would give him a shot if you want pre-made chart books. Otherwise, if you're willing to put a little bit of time in to learn, my YouTube channel has a bunch of how-tos, and I show you how to specifically create my chart books. So there you go. So Alfred says, "Hey Mike, did you identify?" Yeah, no problem. Confirm. Did you identify my performance issues exactly? No, I haven't yet. To be honest, I have not. See, we're right at the point of the breakdown zone. So if we don't hold trap longs in through here, I'd be really surprised. If we don't get a push back into the LVN like 610 or something. And that would be, you know, a retest of the, anything could happen though, of the 10 SMA, which is sloping up here. So who knows, might come up, get my stops, then return, roll down. We don't know. We just don't know how it's going to get there. That's the hard part of trading, right? You're like, I think it's the right play to short here, but then you have this big LVN underneath us like this. And you're like, I think it's going to come back in and probably fill this in. And I think we have trap longs here. But do you pick the right time to get into your short, who knows? You're like, wait for confirmation. Sometimes when you wait for confirmation, it's too late. If you think there's going to be trap shorts here, by the time you wait, the market flips. Because there's trap longs here, we think. That's why, right? So who knows? Maybe we get a move up just above the highs here. You see this big delta up here? Maybe we get a move up and then the longs come in and go whoosh and sell it. Or maybe this is it. Who knows? That's what a lot of people won't tell you about trading. Is like, you could be right on your idea, but if you play with stop losses, which you should, then oftentimes you could be right on the general idea and get stopped out if you have defined risk. Alex Gonzalez, yeah, Ticino Trader's got some great chart books. He's a Sierra chart master. I'm like a fledgling. I don't know. I'm like a Padawan or something compared to Ticino Trader. He's a Sierra chart master. I'm just riding on his coattails a little bit. Little bit of liquidity up here on the Nasdaq, just a little bit. Oh, we gotta get rid of this. Do I have my caps lock on? You know, if I have my caps lock on, then one of my drawing tools doesn't work correctly. That's why I'm talking out loud here. So far, though, just structurally, short term, this looks good for bulls. Doesn't look bad. Look, right? You have this prior area that's now acted like support. So let's see if we can actually go out and make higher highs. Or if we do what I think the market's going to do, which is a little sideways and then pull back into the LVN to digest all the prior longs from this zone. We will see. No, my volume profile. So Globex is here on the far right side, and at least on the footprint. Hold on, let me see if I can manage this a little bit. All right, let's get some of these stops out of here. That's okay. So on the footprint, this is Globex, the far right, and then the left is RTH. This is only visual volume profile right here on this bookmap style chart. So hopefully that kind of answers that. This market, look at them just chewing it up to the upside. Oh, I love it. Do I? No, I don't. Plus 2,000 tick. Let's see if it goes anywhere. All right, little news blurb hitting right now. And stopped on the first part of the position down from here. Making it a bigger winner, a bigger loser. That's okay. There we go. Come on. I think I'm going to get stopped on all of this. And the thing is if I get stopped on all of it, I want to re-enter immediately almost. So lock in the loser and then get right back in on the same idea. Try one more time because I still do think that from this area, longs are trapped. You see all this positive delta up here, positive delta up here. So this whole area holds a lot of volume. Yeah, we're grinding up through it right now, but my idea is that the longs are going to say, get me out of here pretty soon. Could be wrong. Can always be wrong in trading, huh? And the bigger you play, the more money you lose, not the more money you win. You know, I heard something the other day about it was something like you just have a 50%, might have been Morad. You have a 50, here we get back in. We have a 50% probability or chance of losing. And I don't think that's really what he means, is that we have a 50% chance of losing. Right? Because you take trades that you know the edge is maybe more than 50% chance of winning. But I think what a lot of traders mean to say is that, and he's read, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but you know, he's read Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas, and he made reference to that. And he basically said, sorry, I'm looking at this thing here. Hold on. Now we're starting to roll over a little bit. Let's see. Let's see how far we go. Anyway, he made reference to the Mark Douglas. And Mark Douglas, what he's saying is, it's not that every trade has a 50% chance of success. It's that we can't control whether the market moves in our favor or not. It's not something that when you go into a trade, you should be saying to yourself, look, anything can happen. I can lose on this trade. And you should accept that before you go into the trade. That's what a lot of traders should be saying. Not that there's a 50-50 chance of success for every trade. Because there's not. There's different setups that yield over a large data set a higher win rate than 50%. But you should be accepting for every single position you enter the fact that you can have a loser. That's just trading. Anyway, just a little aside there. You're gonna stop again? More? Big ice on ES. Big ice. Yeah, there is some big ice. It's gonna pop. Probably. The ice on the ES is I don't know, close to 3,000 contracts. How many people are noticing the big ice and stepping in front of it short term? So all your stops are above the big ice? We'll see. There's also some longs getting caught up in that short term, right? Hey. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Alright. Ah, you see the up and down kind of movement here. Bump goes up, boom, they hit it down. Goes up, they hit it down. In my mind, those are longs going. Ah, get me out, get me out. Every bid that pops up, smack it, smack it, smack it. But we'll see. The E Mini, it's like you got to explore what's above that ice. Now, sure, one big player maybe getting out of, with profit here or shorting, we don't know. But short term on the E Mini, it's like the idea is what's above all that now? Oh, aren't you curious? Right? If you didn't have a position, wouldn't you just be curious about what's above the market here on the E Mini? All right, let's switch over real quick. Look. All right, you see this big ice up here? Wouldn't you be? And look at the volume ledge. Humongous. Anyway, back to the NASDAQ. What's funny is that the NASDAQ shows on my DOM, I'm in profit. But because I've been realizing loss on the way up, shows negative on the chart. Mm. My true average position on this is 73 and a quarter. Let's see. Yeah, 73 and a quarter NASDAQ. It would just be like the indexes, though, to go get my stops up here. And then rip straight down while we cried a river of tears. We'll see how long I'm even streaming today, guys. I have a whole sick family today. My wife's sick. My little girl's sick. My little kid is sick. I'm not. I'm in here for a little bit. No, I don't, Alfred. I use the one time in sales that you see for each thing. But I do go into the settings for it and aggregate it by same price and type. Yeah. Thank you, Andre. Just trying to manage this position real fast here. Total 6. Oh, that's cool, Alfred. Yeah, I could see why that would be useful. I used to do something like that, but and I used to do it with a cumulative delta filtered Renko 3 Renko charts for the E-mini. So I would filter all of the big. Here, hold on. I actually have a Sierra chart educational video showing how I would take using a Renko chart, large volume trade indicator, cumulative delta, and then like total volume for that total volume for the day. Um, so it's like it was like a line chart showing the total volume traded for that size for the day. In other words, that would show you the impact of that filtered price or filtered volume, sorry, to move the market. So I actually did a YouTube, um, probably Sierra chart tips and tricks number 5 maybe, or maybe number 6. I don't know, something like that. Show people how to build that chart. And then you basically would see the impact of large traders and small traders on the market directly. And then there would be VWAP also of the largest players and VWAP of the smallest players. And mm, mm, mm. And question, what do you guys think? What do you guys? I think this might be headed higher because of how we're coming up with the 10 SMA and the way that price is moving. It looks like a kind of a bull flag consolidation. I noticed it now, so I'm getting out. Like, well, these rejections happen a few ways, right? They happen with huge volume builds up here and trap longs, and then they really flush below important levels like this, short term on the NASDAQ. See, I'm still in the NASDAQ. And they occur without any pop, and then when they come back up, they start to sell it again, and then it rolls over. Or they go really sideways, they make an effort to the upside, and then they fail. So we're in the second one where it goes sideways. Therefore, stops up here, I'm likely to get stopped. So I think I'll have another opportunity to play this zone. But anyway, that's the scenario I'm looking at and why I'm getting out. Or why I got out of the trade. Anyway, anybody care to guess? So I had 4 different, well, before I asked the question. So I had 4 different charts. Chart 1 was lot size 1 through 9. Chart 2 was lot size 10 through 49. Lot size 3 was 50 to 99. And then lot size 4 with chart 4 was 100 or greater. And I kept that on my screen for a long time, watching. And so I would track the cumulative deltas for all those. I track the total volume, and I track where the traders on the chart transacted in mass, right? So in other words, where does their volume spike? Anybody care to guess? Anybody? Yes, you're right, Alfred. I agree. It's a good perspective. I am one of those large perspective people that constantly thinks about how bad it could be. I'm an optimist from that perspective, right? Things get a little shitty around the house, and I will be flipping everything to why I'm thankful for what I have. It's just the way I operate. But anybody care to guess, of all those lot sizes, which moves the market the most directionally on trends? Not at reversals, on trends. Take a guess. Yeah, Alfred. This time is algo o'clock. This is a good setup, what we just are in right now. BBWC. Small one, says Chris. Anybody else care to guess? On the 10 SMA. Oh, we're on the 10 SMA. Giacomo. All right, wait. Giacomo Music says one. Chris says one. Yeah, no worries, Chris. So, small ones, yeah. You guys are both right. The blue line is the 20 SMA. Well, and this trade turns out I'm very right to short from up here. But what do? I take profit early. You know, the Achilles heel of so many traders. Would have been a lot nicer to take profit here, huh? Coming into the underbelly here of the structure. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna kill this trade. True, but the Achilles heel of the unprofitable traders is not taking profit at all. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Can't I just cry about my own performance sometimes? It's all hindsight. Especially when I was like, there's two scenarios. And then neither of them worked out. Isn't that the worst? Okay, so about zero point 0.8 Rs is right around where we're at. See that? You can get the zero point 0.8 Rs. Look. All day long you can get the zero point 0.8 Rs. But the 1 R is about down here, right? From where we entered. Part of the game. Yeah, you're right. I don't always have to be in super serious mode, right? I can just laugh at myself a little bit. Hopefully, you guys realize that it's not serious trading advice all the time. You can always ask me, did you mean that, Mike? Did you really mean what you just said? What do you mean by that? Dude, I was just making fun of myself. Do it all the time. Because in hindsight, I always suck. Always could have done better, right? And sometimes you just, so I was watching a Morad video over the weekend, and he's like basically giving people the lowdown over, how professional traders act versus retail. And I was like, yeah, I mean, basically agreed with him on just about everything, except for the whole 50% probability. But we all say things that later we can go like, I could have said that a little bit better. Um, even not even last night, I made a tiny little video, or I did a short little live stream and talked about ask and bid volume. And at one point, so I went back and re-listened to it. I said, you know what? Maybe I should listen to this one because I tweeted it out that, hey, if you're new, maybe you should go watch this. So then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should. Hold on. Oh, this market's just kicking my butt here. I have the patience of a child. Ugh. Can I just be disappointed with myself a little bit? Man. Like, here, let's turn this on. Let's turn this on, like the ins and outs, right? Look, started shorting in here, stopped out. Those stops, great, but then started re-shorting exactly where I talked about, and took profit all up into here. If I just would have given it time, I would have doubled my profit. I know I'm hindsight trading to the max, but when I went to go bathroom and I moved some stops around, got into a position I was going, and then I came back in. I was like, you know what? Maybe my stops are a little. It's a small position. Just give it a little more room. And I thought to myself, if I go to the bathroom for long enough, maybe the position will just play out in my favor, and I won't do this whole thing where I sometimes overanalyze. Right? Because the original was, oh, let's go back and test 810 or something. Oh, here we go. All right. Right into the LVN. Where were longs wrong? Above this zone. So you would expect them to bounce it up here into, say, 37, 40. So you expect longs to start hitting asks here. Anyway. Something like that. Okay. Son of a gun. At least have some stop in. Alright, we'll add to this one here. Oh, big negative tick. It's 3,000. 8. 7. 8. 1. Alright, anyway. What was I saying? Something with more at that can wait. Let's see how this plays out. What a really shitty thing to see. Man. Oh, Dirk. The only thing he really misses is kicking people. 3,500 flush. Oh, this is gonna get all stopped out here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, this has the look of just a big flush through this whole area here, where all my stops. That's what it has the look of. We'll see. Hmm. On my DOM, my position is 608.75. Up here, it's 620.64. What a difference. I gotta fix that. Because what it's gonna do is mm, give you all the wrong idea about my entries and exits here. Alright, let's go back here. Ah, bummer. 3. Oh yeah. Let's see. 317. There you go. I can't talk and trade at the same time right now. A little too hard. Alright. 'Oh, that BBWC was just a pisser. Sure was. Let's see. Am I still long? Yeah, I am still long. Okay. Or yeah, I am still long. Okay, now we got a flat. Man, that is just the worst. just how I'm feeling. Only so much screen space, but I am watching mainly the E-mini DOM right now for clues down here. And it is near the chat, so I can see you guys' chat. There is some liquidity here. I think, let's see, can we see it? We tighten this up. There you go. Now you can see a little bit on the NAS. It's about, it's 50 contracts down there. Is what it is. There's also liquidity down there on the E-mini. It's 100 and I don't know, 173 down at 15. Just watching to see how we react here. I'm going to have to manage all these stupid NASDAQ stops. They're going to do things I don't want them to do. What's the, man, I don't even know what the stream settings are today. Low latency, so you guys should get like 10 to 12 seconds delay. Is it, it's enough to trade follow, isn't it? I wonder, does anybody know, am I violating some kind of CME rule by sharing this live stream with an under 15-minute delay or something like that? Is that a real thing? Anybody know? Am I essentially doing something by illegally distributing the CME feed because I'm not delaying by a certain amount? I don't actually know. Yeah, Declan, but they stream, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's not something. Come on. Yeah, I don't know either. Really don't. Probably, but nobody cares. You're going to be the one they're making an example of. Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what I think. Like the other night, I was putting orders on the book, testing order types and stuff, and I was not on sim. I didn't realize, and I was essentially in Globex. The algos, I mean, I was far enough away, but every time I put an order on the book, they would get like all kind of market activity going. hold on. Hold on. Mm. All these longs on the E-minis, oh, have been waiting now. They're getting out up here a little bit. But short term, shorts feel some pain. That's okay. All right. Come on. You bastard. Hey, cool. So I've been managing a micros position at the same time here, and it's hasn't been fun, but it's going okay. The micros position, a little bit tighter stop under these lows, and I've taken profit into the top. So I got long in the micros at 17 and a half, and I'm out at 20 and a half. So now let's just see how this dang MNQ goes here. Let's see. You or die. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into it. I'm not really sure. I'm sure technically I'm violating. I'm just thinking about the 8 or 10 second or 12-second delay. Starting to sweat in this office. Over an hour walking since being on stream. Yeah, this is not a good sign here. Yeah, I know, huh? The CME is greedy. Those bastards. Oh. It's a net winning day on these blasted micros that I'm effing around with here. But it isn't fun. So, yeah. What, 103? So 515 minus, what was it on the other? 221. So 222 point, I don't know. 2.5. What is that? 450. So 450. So plus 75. Is that? That's right. Let's see. Yeah, 103, 221, or two. We'll say 225 for the sake of easy math. Jeez. So there's our ES. And then here's back to NQ, right? So what is that? 444 minus 515. So 50, 60. I don't know. 65, 70 bucks. Net positive. All this clicking, my broker's only happy, and that's it. I don't, Indigo. Do you? Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool. Let's see. It was a resistance area for sure, based on just a previous TPO balance area high. So above 70, we would have ripped to the upside, found more stops. So right in the mid 60s where we rejected was made a lot of sense from the E-mini perspective, which is, up here. See this? So just one, two, three. And you can see the volume here, big volume ledge here, right? So today, gap up overnight, rejected before T plus 2, essentially. And T plus 2 was up at 75. Balance area high, essentially. So if you do something like, I don't know, let's just merge with this profile. Then we'll merge with the... Oh, right? Up here. Well, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, you could see T plus 2 up here. So poor high, some aggressive sellers. We're down here at 100% extension. Didn't quite get there. Already made nice vicious bounce. There's somebody that was DMing me on Twitter whom I trust, isn't a big fat liar. And he said he shorted 63, got 30, shorted 38 again, got 10, and then shorted 21 or 22 and got another 10. So plus 50 times contracts. And he said, I'm done for the day because I tend to give it back after this. And that's his idea, is that you had this essentially above 50, this potential rotational balance that would move back up to the upside. And he saw it rejecting there, so he went short for a move back in. Brian, it's okay. I mean, on the micros, I'm doing fine. I'm sorry. On the E-minis, I did fine. On the micros, it's so-so. I'm up 515 on the MESs. So 515 USD, or 103 points here. Oh gosh, let's see. So this is points, right? 103. Maybe you guys can see it. Maybe you can't. 0.69. Oh gosh. 6. I'm walking on a treadmill, so it's not easy to use this mouse right now for me. I'm struggle saucing today. I need to walk more carefully. I'm not walking with military strictness. I'm kind of like bouncing around, poor form, swinging my hips in weird way. I'm bored walking today. I don't really want to be walking. I just don't feel like walking smoothly or carefully. Anyway, so that's points there. So that's 500. But if we move it over to the NAS, in all fairness, can't just point out what you're doing well. You gotta say, well, the NAS is shit show essentially. 221 points down, 222 points, right? We'll round up. So the NAS is, $440. So whatever. 70, 70, $80, whatever my math is. My crappy math. Tried the PC and walking. I can watch but step off with each trade. Yeah, Mike, it's it's the dexterity will improve over time, and then if you have a day where you're just bouncing around a little too much, like me today, I'm tired, right? That's the main thing, is I'm tired. I got up real early to trade the markets, and my kid, my 4.5-year-old, got up 10 minutes later, right? So it's like 5 something Pacific time. I don't know, maybe 5:30, 5:40. I was going to prepare a little bit, see how the market moved. And then my kid's up at 5:50. I'm like, man, normally I just go. So I had the office open, everything. Like normally the rules are office doors closed, go to mama. But my wife is not feeling well. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. Oh, there's that big order on the NQ that chased the market down here. Did you see it? Big order appeared as the market came in. They hit it right now. And that's what this blue bubble was. You could see it. Kind of interesting. But he woke up around that time, and then I was like, well, I gotta, you know, it's one of the detriments of being at home and being a good partner, realizing your wife is not feeling well. All right, gotta take care of him. Wanted daddy, wanted me to snuggle him, and then, of course, he's fighting it at 6 a.m. He's like, "I'm not tired, daddy." I'm like, "Oh, you probably are." Like, "No, I'm not." So we hung out on the couch for a little bit, and then I was like, "All right, we got to get you back to bed." He's like, "I don't want to be in bed." I'm like, "The couch is much more comfortable." And I said, "This stinking couch is not comfortable because the front door shines way too much light on the area that I lay my head." And he's like, "This stinking couch is comfortable, Daddy. I love this stinking couch." So then it's like, "Ha ha ha, funny kid." He's laughing, giving me little smiles because he's repeating stinking couch. He just thinks it's hilarious. Their brains are, his brain is growing. Anyway, back to the room, put him down. And like, I gotta look at that. They're defending that area, selling it viciously. I love it. This kind of price action is so sweet. They're going to retrace it a little up to the upside, or is this it? On and crack into the downside. Wickless candle above. Wickless candle on the right here. There's price action. Quit talking about your kid. Hey, the only one that's paying me is Andre Dennis every day. Which I should just be talking for his sake, right? Which I deeply appreciate that, Andre. Do appreciate you, my friend. Anyway, my kid go into bed, lay down, and I'm like, he's like, "Daddy, are you just laying there and closing your eyes?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to go to sleep." He's like, "No, no, no. We're not tired. It's not. It's just time for a little relaxing. That's it." I'm like, "Ben, it's 6 a.m. What time is that? Is that like 9 p.m.?" I was like, "No, 6 a.m. is really early. Healthy, super kids who have superpowers, and kids who get really powerful don't they don't wake up that early." Oh, okay. I'm gonna close my eyes too. So then I close my eyes and then I open them about a minute later. Boom, he's out. I'm like, he's kind of snuggly here. I'll just close my eyes for like a minute or two. Boom, I wake up. It's like 7 a.m. So my day started on the trading front at 7 a.m. Real life. It is what it is. Treadmill too easy. You should get a trampoline instead. Try to run on the screen with the mouse then. Funny guy, Dirk. My kid has a little trampoline, but I think it's got a 70-pound weight limit. That won't work. Oh, jeez. And then I just bounce my head into the fan. My kid is terrified of fans. He's never hit fans. He's just terrified of them. Anytime I pick him up to look at my trading station here, he ducks his head, even though the fan is like 2.5 feet above him. I'm like, "Dude, no, you're fine, Ben." He's like, "Oh, it's scary. I'm so scared." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine, Ben." He's like, "Oh, no, no, no. It's okay. I'll sit on the chair." He's a strong-willed kid. When he has ideas, that's it. My daughter, on the other hand, she's 4.5 months, totally different. It's not just a boy-girl thing. She is malleable. She'll watch your facial expressions and just adjust on the fly. Ben, he'll watch you, think what he wants to think, and then he's pressing in the direction that he wants to go or what he thinks is important. Anyway, man, are we gonna go take this out right now? That blows. All this talking. Yeah, we're gonna go find stops at this wickless bar. Wait, am I on the wrong right chart? Yes, I am. Okay, Shift F9. You guys know what I'm talking about with the wickless bar, like candlesticks? They can form like this with no wick, right? And then they go like that, right? So then there's always stops here because there's no wick here, right? Sometimes you just get a bunch of bars like this. Every single time the bar opens, they don't retrace it. and then it just keeps. It shows cell pressure, right? Shows someone just wants to sell and oops, sell and sell and sell, but it's kind of like singles, right? These tend to get retraced, so same idea. Oh, Andre. Yeah, Ben is the same way. He, like, 4 month old, she looks around, she smiles. As long as she knows that we're cool with it, she's cool with it. Ben, even now, 4.5 years old, coming up on 5 in November, he freaks out still. And he's old enough to understand the concepts and what they are, and he gets it. He talks. I mean, he's a good vocabulary. His brain is working, blah, blah, blah. He freaks out still. He still freaks out. He'll cover his ears, or he'll close his eyes, or he's like, Daddy, hold my hand. I don't know. But he came out that way. Like, just a little high strung. Totally different. Yeah, Alfred, that is very true. And Ben is one of those. He has higher energy than most kids. I will attest to that. So will all of his uncles, aunts, and grandparents. They're like, your kid has freakish energy. He doesn't stop, and he's very athletic. Little frog legs. Tell you something about Ben. He was walking on his own down the hall at 8 months. He was running, meaning both feet getting off the ground at 12 months. That is weird. So he didn't talk as well because of that, because I think he got what he wanted by moving to the place that he wanted. So he wanted something, he could just move himself there. Whereas, like, some babies at 12 months, they're still crawling or barely crawling. And at 12 months, he was jumping off. He'd climb up this. I still have videos of it. It's just so freakish to me. At 12 months, right? Still bow-legged little baby. At 12 months, he climbed up about this 11-inch, like it was like a square cutout in the wall for trash or something. And it was like maybe 3 feet, 2.5 to 3 feet tall, right? Or maybe a little under a meter tall, square. And he'd go in there, it's in the wall, he'd go in there, and he'd jump out at 12 months and stick the landing. So he could get 12 inches and stick so just very athletic, very like well balanced. Um, but then again, the detriment is that his speech was a little delayed. And yeah, it's just it's interesting. Yeah, it is early, man. It's Andre says, mine still freak out, but she's 32. uh, I love it, Andre. Yeah, I'm with my little girl. I'm like, just don't start crawling and walking until you're like 2. It's fine. She is just a little fatty, little rolls everywhere. She's wonderful though. Totally different personality. I love them both equally, but she's so chill. So you can go from Ben, who's just super high energy, go 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 go, to the little girl who's just dainty. You tickle her or you make a funny face, and she puts her two little fists up to her mouth and smiles, kind of in a shy way. 4.5 months old. So sweet. I appreciate having a boy and a girl. We're pretty lucky. Anyway, Hashish Dalbeda, thank you, and I hope you did as well. Tell me about your day, my friend. My day was okay on the Nasdaq. Um, Here, I'll show you guys. Whatever. Um, Here we will. Oh, what happened there? Reload of the charts. Did you see that? Anybody else have an interruption with the Sierra chart data feed? All right, let's get rid of the MNQ on the chart. What is that? Well, oh, maybe I'm on ES. All the points that I have, or a different account. Whatever. MNQ 22. Very strange. Anyway, whatever. Yes, very little drawdown, decent day. So, I'm having more issues. Message log coming up. Oh well. Client close event error. Windows error code. Connection reset by peer. Hmm. Things that make you go, Oh well. Man, that sucked. Hold on. I'm gonna go look at something quick. Oh, yeah, son of a gun. Huh. Yeah, it could be worse. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, Oliver. There's so many things it could be. Could be your antivirus. It can be your internet connection. I mean, it could be a something with Sierra chart, right? Where they route you to a server, or I don't know, bad hop, or I mean, it's just there's so many things it could be. I do know. You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Anyway, Sunflare. Uh, hmm. Wait a second. Yeah, I guess we're not showing this. Yeah, now we are. Bing. We gonna get chopped up in the range? Very possible. See, what time is it? Power hour? Yeah. We'll just let this position go. Go get stopped out. Isn't that the expectation? Stop coming. I think people ask you this question a lot, but is it possible to get decent historical data per tick with Sierra? I can't get enough. I don't know. That's probably a question for Sierra chart. I mean, it probably depends on the instrument you're trading. I mean, I think that they have good historical tick data for a lot of instruments, but based on the way you phrase the question, it sounds like they don't have good historical tick data for the instrument you're probably referring to, Mr. Dalbida or Beta. Oh, Jesus, range bound. Worst. Mr. Dalbeda, um, I'm curious what your response is to my inquiry. My guess is you're not talking about the E-mini or the Nasdaq or a lot of the CME stuff, because I would say Sierra Chart. I mean, I'm no expert, but I would say Sierra Chart seems to have a lot of historical data. Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah, that's probably something that you're not doing correctly. I would uh, ask Sierra Chart, and then they'll probably want you to share. Son of a gun, this position. Um, they're probably going to want you to share the chart book, or they'll just give you all the pertinent or relevant settings. Oh sheesh, we're now officially down $100 on micros. Yeah, Hashish, it should be like God, somebody else can probably answer this off the top of their head, but like over 10 years at least. And maybe you just don't have like continuous contract set correctly or whatever. Well, I couldn't have played that worse. That was terrible. You know, hugging the 10 SMA here, I've said it before. 10 SMA is typically a timing um, mechanism. And I still stand by that. And, oops. Oh, my caps lock is on. That's why. When my caps lock is on, this drawing tool is always blue no matter what I do. So anyway, right here, that yellow line, right here, that's the 10 SMA. And I've said it before, when you go sideways and then smack off the 10 SMA, it's typically a timing mechanism. Typically. Doesn't have to be. I mean, we range out all the time, right? We try it here, and then whoop, reversed. Could have that here. And we are in just a pretty crappy range, so I don't know. We're range bound. I'm just getting chopped up here. Hence why you just trade the micros. Yeah, Matan's probably right. Here, why don't we do it? Let's see. We're on the E-mini? Yeah, or on the Nasdaq. Here, let me make sure I'm out. Chart settings. All right. So, you see this continuous contract? Just select here continuous futures contract volume based rollover back adjusted. That'll get you about the most accurate. Some people use date. I use volume. That's it. you. Thank you, Matan. You know what? Forget I forget sometimes. People new to Sierra Chart, what a struggle it is to have so many different settings come out of box essentially wrong, right? I mean, there's no right or wrong, but yeah, how many other platforms do they start you out not putting a futures contract on continuous, right? Doesn't TOS just automatically assume? They assume the most common way to view it, and that's the default setting for that type of contract. But Sierra Chart, it's all just, I don't know. That they didn't, it's like they didn't give it a lot of thought. Maybe they're trying to save you the most amount of data or something. I don't know. Yeah, Mike, the pain is totally real for people brand new. Once you've been on it for a while and you're kind of comfortable in it, it's like, oh, this is so easy. But it's not intuitive. Leverage FX says, because they're not traders. Well, you know, if you listen to Anthony, suckered again. Yeah, I think I am going to get suckered in again. If you listen to Anthony of Sierra Chart, he does trade once in a while, but not very much anymore, he says. I don't know that that's true. I think some of them might be traders. Yeah, Kermit. Maybe. Maybe, my friend. Maybe. I think we're going to just piss away more money here. But we'll see. I'm willing to lose. Again. I think somebody should go out, and I've said this before on prior live streams. They should go offer preset configurations for Sierra Chart along with the whole set of instructions. Here's how you get the dark theme. Here's how you do this. And it's all part of a big, nicely packaged PDF. And it has like all of the graphics. It has all of the saved configuration settings. Has all the chart books. Just with instructions. Or maybe you hire somebody to go do some sort of like executable installer that goes and moves all this stuff to the right locations. Like so, instruction one: go install Sierra Chart in C Drive or whatever, and then step two: do this executable, and then it unzips wherever you bought this stuff from, and then it goes and places it and replaces all the files. Right, so it gives you the buttons, it gives you the dark theme, it gives you all the saved order types, and then someone just has a PDF. You're like, oh, order types, page whatever, 15. Here's the preset order types that you get with my whatever thingamajigger, with my download, with a little how-to. I mean, that could be a full-time job, just to point people in the right direction in your own documentation. I don't know. Maybe just selling chart books like Ticino does is the right thing to do, and that's about it. The rest, learn it yourself. Too many different settings for you to mess up. I don't know. It's complicated. And then if you were going to sell something like that, what would you sell it for? What would you sell your whole setup for, right? $1,000? $1,500? $2,500? But who's going to buy it? And then what? Is it easily transferable to others? So then all that work you put into that PDF, people are just going to rip it off anyway and share it with their buddies? There's just no great solution, I think. I don't know. Yeah, Neo Femus's like the pre-written chart books from the master. Download and spend 30 minutes getting the fonts so I can see them. No global rescale button. I know, right? That's where having the SC config file of the person that gave it to you would set all those fonts as well as the setup, the whole thing for you. That's what I'm talking about. But so someone should at least try that. Charge people a bunch of money, and I'm sure there's ways of. Well, I don't think there is ways of really protecting it. I don't know. I don't know enough about coding and Sierra chart. I do know that if you can code, you should do it exactly how Zip does it, or Akin, which is here's the study, and you don't get the code, right? You know how the study works. Here's the settings. Here's what they affect. Here's a definition. And I charge you monthly access for them. That's how it should work. Because this whole nonsense of everybody sharing chart books with each other, when maybe one person has figured out how to use the software, probably Ticino Trader, right? Long ago, he's the most famous, right? I think he figured out the software and he just started selling and distributing chart books for way too cheap, and now everybody just what? They share it with all their buddies, or like they download Ticino stuff and they just distribute it all. I hate it. I think it's such a bad model. What do you really think, Mike? Well, that's what I really think. I think it's terrible. I think people think it's not worth very much. And yet, if you look at Ticino's chart books, which I do sometimes, they're ingenious. They make so much sense. Right? Anyway. Yeah, they can, Mike. So there's a guy, his name is Zip, ZYP, right? So replace the T, like TYP, with the Z, or Zulu, whatever. Anyway, his name's Zip, and he runs what used to be Atkins Indicators. They're two separate people, but they shared the same Sierra chart support board login, and so he would log in as Akin. He's still there as Akin. So if you search in Atkins Indicators Sierra chart, you'll see one of the most popular visited threads in the whole Sierra chart support board. And he's a coder. He's long used Sierra chart. He's an expert at Sierra chart. He's from Czech Republic. He's a good friend. I love that man. Anyway, he codes studies, and he's coded thousands of studies. And yeah, that's true, Indigo. It is true. But what I care about though is protecting people who've put hundreds of hours into creating chart books. That's why when someone's like, "How can I get your chart book?" Send them to me. I'm like, I've spent hundreds of hours on YouTube showing you guys how to do this. Just watch the video. I'm not going to send you anything. Just watch the video. And if you get pissed and you're like, "Well, I'm going to unsubscribe," well, all right. See you later. It's fine. Um, yeah, it's just shady, and yeah, and then there's all these people that are selling stuff that already exists, and it's the same thing. as what's, you know, sort of standard from that you can build yourself and see. Oh, we're gonna get stopped out finally here. You see the impulse here? Just looks like they're ready to sell it. A little bit of effort. Could be wrong, but it looks like they're ready to break it. Someone is making a concerted effort here to sell this range. Let's see how far it goes. Anyway. Yeah, Mike, that's the thing. Man, gonna be another loser. Bing, bing, bing. All right. So this is settlement. Look at all that oh, you guys don't see it. Look at all the liquidity on the E-mini down below us. You see it? You dig? That big orange line is settlement. And you see over here the liquidity. How big are those contracts? Or how big is the liquidity there? 200, 200, 200. That's what that is. And threw it like butter. So these are 200, 200, 200. Anyway, these red lines are greater than 150. And I don't want to be fasting today at all. I want to eat, but I know it's the right thing. I haven't been fasting very much. I gotta get back on the fasting train. Good for me. Good for me mentally. Good for me physically. Blah blah blah. Look at the E-mini bouncing off settlement here. Not much volume, but there's just an interest to hit asks right above settlement or at settlement. Right. No volume here on the upside from the upside down. So let's see. Gonna get the false breakdown. Bop, 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 bop. All right, let's try again. Oh, you guys don't see. What the heck am I doing? There we go. The whole thing was a loser from, I don't know, up here to down here, stopped out. Natural resistance, you can see on this 50 volume chart. Kind of cool. Right here, short term, right? Just the prior, and then the market kind of does this whole, you know, up and then whoop right off of it. So what was that? 69 to 64. I don't know, 4 or 5 points on the Nasdaq. You're like, Just want to scalp this thing really fast back and forth. You could do it. You can get in, get out for a few points, 3, 4 points. Problem is, you're going to have put a closer stop. You're going to stop out a lot more. But you can use this kind of chart. I don't know. If you have a really, really high win rate, 90% or something, 85%, you could still get away with the 0.65 R or something. So less than 1 R. A lot of people do that. It's pretty popular. Whatever. What's up, Reno? How you doing, my friend? Is your mental fatigue improving? Reno's a hardworking dude. Yeah, that happens a lot, Hashish. I mean, I think that's a good characterization because you have very big market participants playing near the close. Good here. Glad to hear it. All right, this is the 0.8 R area, right? Take profit on the position. And it's a wickless bar, by the way, too, right? Right there. Oops. Shift F9. Get rid of that. Right here. That was wickless. It went and retraced some of it just now. But it was wickless. So as soon as we went up a little high, a lot of traders were like, they're going to go get the open of that candle a little bit. And so they all start taking profit all along. Like, short term it drives that movement back into this candle because all the scalp longs are getting out. So that's all that it is. We'll see. We're playing for a little more than that. Reno's like, or Lucky Prod is Reno, by the way. He's like, essentially what he just told us is, I made more money than all of you put together. Well done, my friend. I have no doubt. Reno works very hard at using all of the studies in Sierra chart to execute on his own unique ideas about the market. And he works and works and works and works at it until he gets something that gives him some kind of edge. And he doesn't simply do what other people tell him to do. All right? He grabs all the studies and he mixes and matches until he finally gets the concept that he wants. And then he goes and he... It's interesting. Interesting market here. Is that right, Reno? Did I characterize you right there? Reno's a hard worker. That's what I think. Yeah, I agree, Alfred. You don't need to be at all. At all. Yeah. I could tell, Reno. Come on. How long have we known each other? You're a grinder. You grind it out. Sometimes you don't grind. You get it right away. But most of the time, you're just willing to just play with it, play with it, play with it. Have a general idea and then sharpen it a little bit. Play with it, watch it, recognize that you're on the cusp of some idea that isn't widely disseminated, and keep playing with it, and then notice, whoa, in this kind of market, it's volatile, right? It's trending. There's a lack of size on the book. This study combination or filtering of studies works very well. And then you document all that and you add it to your catalog. That's the way trading works for uh, for people who really want success. Yeah, Alfred, I agree with you. Alfred says, unfortunately, many people don't see the fact that just having good software won't make you a good trader, and then they can just trade very well with good software, and that's all they need. You know, more people understood this. Now, how many of these people who sell stuff would be out of business? They want you to think, my software will do it all for you. Big volume note here, we get above 72, shorts are in pain. We get below 48, longs likely capitulate. So we'll see. Now this for me is a 50-50 trade. Definitely. Alfred, it wouldn't surprise me that Ticino does a lot of work for large prop firms and stuff like that. I mean, he had a Brett Steenbarger. Man, what was that study? I forgot what it was called. Had something to do with market internals of some kind. But I noticed that this was probably 2 years ago. I noticed that Steenbarger's name was on it. So I'm assuming Steenbarger, who uses Sierra Chart, requested it of Ticino Trader. So yeah, guy's brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant. And what one hell of a deal to be signed up for his chart books that you get access to for what, €4 or €5 a month? I mean, that's just ridiculous, guys. Yeah, cumulative tick study. There you go. So Indigo Mind's basically just saying, I found no edge in it, which is, right? It's just to say that maybe you didn't know how to use it, right? Steenbarger's probably the man in using it well. Steenbarger works for SMB Capital. He wrote a book called The Daily Trading Coach. I think he wrote a few other books for trading psychology. He's been around the game a long time. And I think he's a full-time trading coach or psychologist for SMB Capital. I think. I don't know. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Leverage. One more drop to close the gap? Maybe. Maybe, baby. Am I the patient trader that eventually gets stopped out of my position? Yep, I could be. Okay, this will go into the positive category of holding on to a winner for a longer amount of time. I think. As long as the trade ends as a winner. If it ends as a loser, then I'll be, oh, he was so patient in that losing trade, which will suck. Trading is like alchemy, not chemistry. Hmm. Ashish, I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you. No, I don't leverage. Leverage is curious if you use the last 30-minute bars mid to be a line in the sand. I under 30-minute previous bars mid, you go short, and then above, you go long. I do not. I do that, he says, and it works pretty well for me and watch all sectors too. That's cool. That's I don't do that. I'm not saying it wouldn't work for me. I just don't do it. So maybe I might be missing out. We're still making lower highs here on the 5 range. Just lower highs, lower lows. Here I am long. All right. Lower highs. Be nice to kind of start to rotate up through this bar, break this level. Then that would cause trend up and then maybe fill some of this kind of the idea I have right now is to fill a lot of this LVN up here. So into like 639. And then just go challenge this prior breakdown zone. That's it. So just rotate back up like so. Oops. Like so. Right up into here. Find stops through here. This is the breakdown point. Just go give it a shot. So, decent risk reward. I don't know. 50-50 trade. I might be wrong. That's the reality. Keeps going down. I'll get all my stops. It'll be a bigger losing day. So what are we at? 6. What is it here? 6, 4, 8, 5. Maybe minus 250 or almost minus 300 now on micros altogether. Let's see. Kilo Man 191 says you're gonna get stopped out at the reversal. Reversal. LOL. Probably. It'll probably reverse short term. Gotta put your stop somewhere, Kilo Man. For me, that's the most annoying thing about trading, he says. Leverage says being right and still losing money. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're not right. Because you're only right about your short term idea if you have a stop. Your stop is where you say you're wrong. The rest is all hindsight, isn't it? I mean, if you say that the market moved against you, took your stops out, and then say the stops aren't telling you that you're wrong, you're saying that the market eventually reversed and that's why you're right, then I think you have the wrong definition of being right or wrong. Your stops are where you're wrong. Nice call. What was it? Kilo Man 191. My stops are at the reversal. It's near the reversal point, near the lows. RJ says, unbothered. I'm moisturized. So RJ just told us he took a shower. Thank you for the information. He's happy. He's in his lane. He's on the couch. He's flourishing. No, he's not. He's on a couch in front of his pond outside, flourishing with the flowers in your garden. Am I right or am I right? Maybe. Um, I don't know. Very, very close. Nice to see you, my friend. Couch part was right. There you go. Ah. Yeah, Indigo Mines. Day trading is all about timing. Freaking hell. It is frustrating though when you're off by a little bit. Right? Your timing is just a little off. You're stopping out right where you should be entering the opposite way, scalping short, say. It could be a little frustrating. It could be like emotionally just devastating to constantly lose. All, and you're just trading at the wrong edges, right? You're like going for the breakout when you should be going for the fake out, right? You're trading like a breakout trader when you should be trading like a range trader. And then when you do it on YouTube and everybody sees what you're doing is wrong in hindsight, it's even worse. You know why? Because everyone gets to point out what you should have done. They're like, wow, thank you, Captain Obvious. Wasn't there a guy in the chat here that his name was Captain Obvious? Great name. So where are the stops now? Above this high? Right here? Right there at 84, and then stops above POC too. Because this is POC. E-mini is about to go above its POC right now. All these nooblet POC traders are like, but. Oh, gosh. Here's where I think a crap load of traders, they always want to let every position run instead of take profit. Every single one. They're like, can I just hold out for the amount? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and flatten this. Can I can I just go ahead and hold out for the amount that I've been down on the day? And they look at their P&L. I don't care about this P&L, guys. I'm gonna get out where I see resistance forming. That's it. We went above the POC, right above the POC. We had some sellers in there. Time to get out, reevaluate, but take the profit, Hey, thanks, Jason. It does feel good to finally have a winner. God, I'm up 515 on the MES and I'm down 240 bucks on the micro Nasdaqs. So that's a positive $300 day. But I do have the Nasdaq up, right? Okay, yeah. Look, right? So here's the E-mini micros, the MES. Back to the NQ. I still green. Yeah, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm green for the feed, right? I mean, this right here, right now, keeps me from pissing away large amounts of money. So, and then I get to talk to you guys, which I like. I really enjoy reading, like Leverage FX had this. He shared this idea about the final 30-minute bar and the mid of that bar being um, long above, short below, kind of thing. That's an interesting idea. I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at a lot of other people's um, trading methods, especially when they're really. Reno can attest to this. Reno, how much time do I spend entertaining everybody? I don't. Yeah, leverage. Thank you, leverage. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, I've got a market profile up. These are 30-minute bars. Wait, over here, right? Today is, let's point out all the Reno, Lucky Prod. So Reno is Lucky Prod, and he's making fun a little bit of himself. He's just being lighthearted, and it's beautiful. And he says, and reading some weird flowcharts in Franglish. So Reno sent me emails before, and you know, he likes to toss ideas around. And if I had more time, I would just sit there and dig with him. I'd probably get on a Discord mic and talk about everything with him for his sake, not to learn what he's doing, but just to help him out, right? But the problem is I don't have the crap load of time to do that after the market closes or whatever. But Reno keeps sending me his stuff going, "Hey, look what I'm working on." He's dangling the worm for this hungry fish. He's like, "Come take a bite. Come on, you know you want to." Thanks, buddy. Um, oh, what a good question. Disciplined asks, how much edge do you think you would lose without level 2 or market by order data? That requires a lot of careful consideration. So the answer to that is not just, I'm not going to try to quantify both. The market by order data is only useful on the days where it is working. For example, right now, market makers are adding a fair amount of liquidity to the book on both sides. In other words, they expect this market, based on the liquidity I'm seeing with MBO, to oscillate up and down, or down and up. And it's very clear to me that this is what they expect. Is there edge in that? There could be, right? So if you get the direction right, there could be. So first, I guess I'm trying to define the edge that I have from it, and it's not every day, but it could be every day. It just depends. If we're in a day where we're going towards, say, 10 lot or greater liquidity, and it's clear as hell, God, I really don't quantify it like that. How much edge would I lose? God, you know that math on that is so complicated. Because how much of my edge is the MBO? I don't know. But I do watch it, and I do take trades off of it, and I do get out and probably increase my profitability by on each trade, sometimes by 10 or 30% of that trade. It does save me a lot of times. But God, in hindsight, trying to figure that out, that is a hard one to figure out. So see, here's the thing, discipline. You're making me really think about this more. If I got rid of MBO and I got rid of level two, then how would I trade? What would I focus on? Right? And I only have so many eyes, so many hands. I can only watch so many things at once. Hey, murder algo. Are they gonna get him? Oh, is this my move? Uh, oh, I'm getting a little distracted. So let me go back. What is the motive of that? So the murder algo is it's a rebalancing algorithm that so 10 minutes before the close every day, there's a little bit of rebalancing that occurs with hedge funds. So they adjust their um, their positions, and so you see the market make a random move up or down. That's it. So you just have to know, Matan, every day around 10 minutes before the close, you're going to get some randomness in the market. Widen your stop or get out of your position if you have a tight stop. Who knows? It may move in your favor. I don't, if you have a stop at if you have a stop at break even, then you're good. You get some slippage or something. Margin call. No, not really, Hashish. Yeah, it's always the same time. Someone else probably has a more accurate, deeper explanation, and I've heard it a few times, and I can't remember what it is. So I generalized the heck out of that explanation because I couldn't remember exactly what goes on at 350. A year ago, I think I used to know more. That's the truth. You could probably Google it though. Like Google rebalancing every day at 350 in the stock market, and you'll probably find some articles like 3:50 p.m. rebalancing price movement in the stock market every day. Leverage FX says MOC, right? Market on close is potentially what. See, I can't remember the rules on that leverage. That's my problem. Is I can't remember if it's at 10 minutes. They I don't remember all the rules. I don't remember all the rules on when you can adjust orders. It might be the last 10 minutes up to the last 1 minute. I don't. I just don't remember how that all works, to be honest. But now, guess what? Yeah, leverage. I'm gonna read it now because I'm curious. So I will go read it, and then I'll have an answer for somebody. Yeah. 350. Let's see. Margin call. I thought you were cracking jokes, Hashish. It's all good. I don't. No judgment here. I thought it was funny. Everyone gets margin called at 350. AMP uh, increases margin at 10 minutes to 5, or maybe 5 minutes to 5, something like. I don't remember exactly. Go read it. So those margin calls with AMP don't occur right before the cash close. They occur much later, before the hourly close into the next day. Do you know if you make market calls, you gotta own the good ones, you gotta own the bad ones. So whoever called for new lows, you gotta own the bad ones. I'll give you props on the good ones. I won't point out the bad ones because I'm not an asshole like that. But you see how it's all biased. Uh, yeah. So the initial margin is like 5 or 10 minutes before the 5 p.m. Eastern close for AMP, and different brokers will do it differently. Some will do like 10 minutes before the cash close. This Indigo says bullish to me. Indigo, I want to short the. If we get on the NASDAQ, if we get into 650s, I want to short it for a return back to 620s. On the E-mini, if we get to 435, I want to short it for a return back to 420 to 126. Something like that. I think we got a whole area today that we're probably going to fill in near the close. And I think that area is from here, 24, all the way to 36. I think the market's a bit on the balance side down here. That's what it looks like. Thank you, Hashish. I can't remember what everybody says in the chat. Who called what? I'm kind of looking at screens, looking at chats, trying to read, trying to follow everything, trying to decide, do I take a trade, do I not? I'm wrestling with my inner demons a little here. My closed P&L 113. I'd love to get that to zero, but is that a reason to take trades? No, that's probably that is gambling. Definitely. Here we go. Oh, interesting. Massive divergence. Thank you for that. Lucky Prod. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go. Yes. To Papa. I was getting long MES here, so that's why. Yeah, buddy. Yes. Come back to Papa. I'm on. Let's go. Short 12 MES. Come on. Short 8. Short 4. Come on. Yes. Out at 20 and a half. Booyah. Oh, I love the clothes, man. Oh. Oh. All right. It's the MES are going to outpace my are going to outpace my oh, it's not the MES isn't up. I can't keep up with this, guys. Whatever. 192 times 5, whatever that is. 200 times 5, 1,000 minus 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 960 minus 113 or 226. 960 minus, we'll round up, 230 is 740 plus 740. There you go. That was a fun close. That was a fun settlement to trade. No, see, Hashish says little coin flip at the end of the day. If you know, okay, Hashish, here, let me turn this on here. You know, I'm a settlement guy, right? I talk about it all the time, nonstop. Okay. So there's these little plays that you can do around settlement, right? You can get long, you can get short. So, okay, so by this point right here, settlement was up here. So as we drop down, and you can see the order flow coming in, the opposite side of the book got larger here, and they started from wherever they sold into the bid here, that was visible large book liquidity, wherever they sold into the bid here, they hit the stops and then it just shot down, and then the other side of the bid got bigger, and so you could go long because they then covered against that side of the book. And it happens to be around settlement that you can do this. So there's a little interplay with what happens during the settlement period. Am I pointing out the right thing? Yeah, the settlement period, which starts here and ends here. And this big orange line is developing settlement. So it's done, right? Settlement started calculating here, and it finished its calculation right here. So I got to see how this worked. And you can see by the market depth historical graph what I'm talking about. Well, maybe you can't see it that well. All right, see how as settlement they went right into it, and then the bid came back down, and then they went right towards it. So, anyway. Where are we at now? There's probably another settlement. As I get distracted here, there's another settlement trade setting up right now. There's tons of settlement trade setups. Like, all you got to do is watch it. Add it to your chart and watch it every day. And you'll see that there's probably 25 or 30 variations on settlement. There's all these different trades. So right now, probably back up to settlement. You see the settle volume is only 22,761. You guys see that? Here. You guys see that? That's so crazy low. Anyway, I hate asking you guys this, but I'm gonna ask again. If you guys are on the channel and you haven't liked the video, I would appreciate if you guys do. It does help with the YouTube algorithm, getting me more viewers, blah blah blah. So I would appreciate it very much. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, turn those notification bells on. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cheesy. But I'm here for all this time talking about markets. I don't have to be here, right? Aaron K, you the man. Thank you. Oh, so I appreciate it, Arnie. Um, I'm curious about how you guys did. Asking ye shall receive. Thank you, Disciplined. Yeah, not a great day. Not a great day. You guys want to see the way that the micro trades went near the close? Here, I'll turn that. Wait, is it on? E-mini S&P. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's see if you guys can. Did I take? How many did I take down here? All right, let's turn it on. I think that'll give us what we need. Nope. All right, there and there. Nope. Oh, that's E-mini. That's why. Like, why is this not turning on? Okay, this is micro. Didn't take any. Right there. Buying here, selling up here. It's essentially what it was. Shorting up here, covering back to developing settlement. Here, I'd have to change this other chart up here. But anyway, I'm more interested to hear about your guys' day and why it went well, and who cares about all my crap. How did Amazon go today? I didn't really pay attention to it. DAX, interesting. Daily LVN at the end of the session took out. I'll have to develop, but it worked out. Arnie, do you follow what is her name? Linda B. Rashke? Linda Bradford Rashke? Doesn't she trade DAX pretty often? Hey, Rainer. I used to trade DAX, by the way. Those moves were just. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I was just wondering, Arnie. It's okay. I know she does trade it, and I thought, I know she uses it. I know she uses it to for reversals for the U.S. equity indexes and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. I don't look at the DAX, but hmm, man, hindsight. In hindsight, right? If I was selling a proprietary settlement indicator, we would have to say that that looked pretty good. Twice for nice plays off of prior settlement at what, 07s? It's now T plus 2. What? 0725, yeah. Sheesh. Shift F. Anyway, back to reading about your guys' day. Chris 697 says I'd have had a better getting kicked in the nuts. You know, Chris, we have all been there, my friend. We have all been there. Or you're just like, I should have just sat on my hands. You know, that's why I get on this stream, is because there comes a point every day where I'm better off trading micros or just walking away. So on the days that I feel like talking, I come talk to you guys, but I don't always do it. So I guess this might answer the question that Hari Natarajan asks, which is, are you live every day? What time do you start? I'm not live every day. I don't always start at the same time. And that is just what it is. So if you just subscribe and turn on the notifications, I don't post a lot of short garbage videos. Hashish, it's usually a live stream that you'll get notified for. And I don't know if YouTube has a different setting for that. Maybe it does. Or I try and post a useful video about trading setups. Like, no clickbaity stuff, right? Just real stuff. Or I do like a video on Sierra chart or something like that, typically, right? So those are the things that I do. You know, I started to do a video. What was it? Friday night? And I ran into technical problems. And then I spent 20 minutes talking about it. And then I cut it and said, F this, and walked away. That happened. Anyway. Are we going to get the return to settle up here? I think it's coming. All right, buddy. Have a good one, Alfred. Aaron K450 says, has anybody used, or does anyone use Linda's LBR 310 oscillator? Aaron, me. I've used it for years, and it works well. I like it. I don't use it now, but I used to use it. And Thinkorswim, and I had a version of it in Trader Workstation by adding moving averages. I can't remember what the settings are. But yeah, TOS, I think, has the LBR 310 in there. But yeah, I used it for years. Yeah, it works nicely. With all of the like divergent plays, especially on like 4-hour charts, or LBR uses like 10,000 tick charts for the E-mini. It works very nicely. Like, why am I not using it? I don't know. I use other things now. But yeah, I would follow her, see how she uses it, because she's, obviously the expert, and you'll learn a lot. Or just add it to a chart, especially like TOS or something, and then go back and just look at it on different time frames and how bottoms form with it. Yeah, settlement's cool. Settlement, it just works. I wish I could show you guys the 5-minute chart, but obviously we see enough here. We can make this a 5-minute chart, can't we? Yes, we can. 5M. Okay. We'll make this a 5-minute chart. Uh-oh. Sierra chart telling me that I have a control collection base on L button, point 1134 comma 19, item 132, I have some kind of error, maybe some sort of floating point error for my control bar. Really? Okay. It is what it is. Anyway, um, so this is a 5 minute bar here, or these are 5 minute bars here now um, on this chart. So here's yesterday's settlement right down here. Bing. Let's go look at more. So on this day, this was the prior day's settlement. So it held that settlement and ripped up. This was T plus 2, right? See the big orders come in right around T plus 2. Test it, what, 1, 2, 3 times, and then ripping for, I don't know, 30 points. Oops. Get rid of this line, maybe. All right, so now this was this day's prior settlement here. Look at that. Coming up past it, bouncing. Bing, bing, bing. And then when it lost it, shoo, liquidations. That's kind of cool, right? So it tends to be reactive. I mean, there's all kind of reactions going on the chart in a lot of other areas. But again, it's one area of a highly concentrated volume. And it matters for all the reasons I've talked about before. Anyway, we'll get out of here. And we'll return this to what? 200V chart? 200V. There you go. 200 volumes. It's so interesting. I think it is. All right, let's see. All the way over here. And we'll move this all over. There you go. Bink. All right, well, I'm going to go hang out with the fam. Have a good afternoon. I hope that you guys all traded well, and it's going to be a long week, 4 more days. So trade well. I'll talk to you guys again maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. Who knows? Depends how my wife is feeling. So anyway, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you guys' company, and have a really good morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Take care. Thank you. Bye.